Hello everyone, this is Cool Pro 195 streaming live with my Xbox Series X showcase live stream. And yeah, it's about time I finally have it. That's right people, your eyes aren't deceiving you, I finally have my Xbox Series X. So yeah, that's officially the whole Scalp Fest officially over, and not only that, but also in other words, it's back to reality for Cool Pro 195 in my world, since now I'm back up to date with pretty much all of the consoles, especially up to the latest generation. We're in the 9th generation of consoles now, and it's like, it's unbelievable in a sense. But yeah, anyways, I finally have the Xbox Series X. Now I have both the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, which also means, sorry about that, my throat is just being fucked up. But yeah, never mind, it's a chill live stream, but yeah. Anyways, that also means Cool Pro 195, that also means Cool Pro 195 2 and Scalpers nil. That settles the scores finally, which also means back to reality in my world. Because like legit, I would have already had the consoles. And I'll share this all over social media, don't worry. Oh hey, DanKilgrave2881, welcome to the live stream, cheers for stopping by. And yeah, I know in the way the commentary could have started a bit better, but you know, it's been pretty hectic as of lately, and I'm just trying to make a nice build up for this live stream. But anyways, the hype is real, people. I don't know why there are random noises playing, but what the fuck ever, and the Twitch app is just being weird. But anyways, I appreciate everyone stopping by, and for those, and also before I forget, honourable shoutouts to both Mr. Original Name and James the Crimson Dragon for being donators, for your donations within previous live streams. I highly appreciate the donations. Every donation is appreciated and not at all an obligation whatsoever. For those that want to donate, feel free to do so out of your own courtesy. Oh, that's nice to know, DanKilgrave. That's nice to know, Nathan. He says I'm doing good. I just had my second COVID shot earlier. That's nice. Yeah, like I heard they're beginning to scrap COVID shots for people under 40 because of potential side effects or whatever. But yeah, it is quite worrying. Oh hey, Lord Michael J2, welcome to the live stream. Cheers for stopping by. And yes, this is real. I actually have the Xbox Series X now in my possession. Well, as a matter of fact, I actually, like, the transition process for it was actually pretty smooth, I gotta say. And I'll get more into that later on. I'm just gonna, you know, share this all over social media before actually proceeding with the showcase. And the phone, for whatever reason, doesn't want to load up channels, which is pretty retarded, but yeah, what the fuck ever. But I appreciate everyone stopping by. I actually got my Xbox Series X last week, Tuesday, and I was gonna do it on my previous day off, well, last week when I was off anyway. But then, like, OBS and Logitech Capture started fucking about yet again. It was like, they just didn't want to cooperate, so then it just fucked everything up from there. And now, like, all of a sudden it doesn't work. It doesn't want to work as a video capture device source. So now, as a backup plan, I have to use it as a game capture, as a game capture source within OBS Studio. But yeah, as for those two programs, they need to step up their fucking game. By the way, for those of you who are in the Dingo Crash Discord server, feel free to jump in to the commentary, as I'm in the general voice chat channel within that Discord server right now. So yeah, for those of you in the Dingo Crash Discord server, feel free to join feel free to join the general voice chat channel, because it would help out a lot, especially in terms of commentary, whether you want to fill in the blanks or whatever. Yeah, the hype is real, people. It's cool. Pro 952 scalpers nil. And speaking of the whole scalping situation, it's not going to get any easier for those people who want to get the PS5 either, especially with how things have been going. Sony have even updated, they've even posted an update about that themselves. They're like, they've had like major concerns of not being able to meet such high demand, and the only way to make that process easier would be if the demand calms down, which honestly there's Buckley's chance of that happening. Like, no fucking way is that gonna happen anytime soon, because people still want the PS5 like crazy, with it selling like fucking hotcakes. But yeah, that's pretty much like what's going on behind the scenes. And not only that, but there's also been news that Sony, there's also been articles and also videos posted online, especially from Review Tech USA, stating that, well, pretty much bringing forward the news that Sony they've actually been considering redesigning the PS5 altogether, just to make the whole shipping process easier. Just like make the process easier for everything. Especially with how, like, you know, COVID fucked everything up. Like, it's more than a massive fuckfest in the process, and yeah, I'll read your comments in a bit. I'm just posting this all over Discord servers now. I'm just sharing the link all over a fuck ton of Discord servers that I'm in. But I'm just gonna take my time because it's no rush. But yeah, apart from that, both OBS Studio and Logitech Capture need to fucking step up their game. Or just OBS and Logitech in general. But as for a redesign, it's still pretty early for anything. It's early as fuck for a, like, especially for a redesign. Because like, they usually wouldn't have a redesign for a console this early in its life cycle. Yeah, for those of you who want to join the commentary, you know, take your time. You don't have to jump in. If you're busy, fair enough. But yeah, this is fun. Honestly, I am hyped to play, like, to even, like, you know, try out the Xbox Series X and all. It's just that right now there are not that many games for it in comparison to the PS5. Which is, you know, another reason why they should have, like, you know, waited a year for its initial release. And I'm talking for both, and I'm talking about both the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. And yes, of course I had to get the Xbox Series X and not the Xbox Series S. Because fuck that shit. It's like, why purchase an inferior model? When you know, you can clearly afford, like, one of the best models, or the best model that exists. Honestly, like, the Twitch app, they need to fix their shit. like honestly, the amount of updates they've had, and it's still like having problems. Okay, I think that's pretty much everywhere. I think I have everywhere covered right now in terms of, you know, all the Discord servers that I initially planned to post the link in. Okay, well, looks like I have to switch back and forth between my web browser and OBS, between Brave and OBS, just to read the fucking comments. Because, you know, the phone doesn't want to cooperate, which is fucking retarded. But yeah, Bandicoot 15 joined. Well, he joined a bit earlier, but yeah, he jumped in saying Bandicoot 15's here. Welcome to the live stream. Is that Bandicoot 15 here? And Lord Michael J2 says, he says, I said I would come. Yeah, and I highly appreciate that. You're a man of your word, Lord Michael J. Lord Michael J2. Okay, so far we have three live viewers at the moment. I'm not gonna lie, the hype would be like, well, the hype for actually, you know, showcasing this would be like more, oh, now wants to load up the fucking, now actually wants to load up. Like, what do you call it, the fucking, you know, live stream page on the app. And as for like the flagship colors, yeah, we all know that it's usually the Xbox flagship color would be green, but now in a way it's like debatably green or black, which is also why I have a black background for this thumbnail, like for this specific thumbnail, since now in a way they're sort of bringing the color black into their, like, you know, flagship color representation per se, even though they have a green strip at the bottom to still, like, you know, pay homage to pretty much, like, you know, the history of the flagship color that they had as it was green. But yeah, but anyways, I gotta say, it's been like getting the Xbox Series X, it's a lot easier to get than the PS5, especially with like the demand for the PS5. Even though like both are still getting scalped, I'd say you'd have a much better chance of getting the Xbox Series X than the PS5, because of like the ridiculous amount of demand for the PS5, on top of, you know, how much, pretty much like how much more retailers or how much more options you have as retailers in order to actually purchase the Series X from in comparison. It's like you have a lot more variety of choice in terms of like where you want to get it from, but at the same time you can't always pick and choose because these stock drops, they happen whenever they happen, but so of course you gotta act quickly whenever they drop. And as a matter of fact, I actually got my Xbox Series X from the exact same place as I got my PS5 from. I also got this from SHOUTOUTS, which is pretty cool. And as I've mentioned earlier, the whole process of it, like, of pretty much like the entire process of purchasing it and, you know, its shipping process, it was a lot smoother and it actually arrived much quicker. Not only that, but based on the timing that happened as well. So pretty much, like, I'll go into more detail later on, but yeah, I think now would be a good time to actually, you know, showcase the web page, just to like bring up more details about it before I actually get into the showcase. So this is what I got. So this is pretty much like the checkout page that was active at the time. But of course, this is like, it doesn't give you an option to choose specific bundles. It only comes as like the console itself. So, and this is pretty much like the best opportunity that I had at the time, and it's great that I've managed to purchase it from SHOUTOUTS, because like they always do like a discount if you're a member. Like if you're a member of the site, then you get like a nice promotional discount. Even though, like, as you can tell, I got this for like 14p less. So like at a 14 pence discount, even though it's not a lot, it's still better than nothing. It's a nice little promotion that they have for members, and yeah, they give you the option to choose between the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S, and of course I went for the Xbox Series X. So yeah, of course I couldn't get any games with it as part of a bundle, but I did manage to purchase 2 games separately, and one of them was actually a pre-order. And the pre-order, which of course in a way should go without saying, because this is a franchise that goes hand in hand with like Xbox in general. It pretty much represents Xbox entirely, and that franchise is of course Halo. So yeah, I've actually pre-ordered Halo Infinite from SHOUTOUTS as well. And also, in order to actually have a game, and also the other game that I actually purchased is of course a game that's already out, but in a way it's also cross-compatible with the Xbox One. And that game is Gears Tactics. And yeah, Gears Tactics is pretty much like the whole Halo Wars approach on Gears of War. So like, in a way, Gears of War also took that approach as like, like, in a way they sort of took that approach as like, I'm not sure whether it's a spin-off or not, but more like a side project per se, and to keep fans occupied. That's probably what it is. But yeah, anyways, it's like pretty much go in more detail about this. Yeah, those are the games that I got, and as you can see, like from the predictions that they state on the screenshot that I just pulled up, like it says that we have no ETA for new stock, which could take 4 weeks or more, because like it's a back order, so like there's no prediction on whether or not, like when exactly it's gonna arrive, so they can only give estimates. But this time round they didn't even give an estimate, like in comparison to the PS5, because when I purchased a PS5 I actually had somewhat of a prediction. They gave me like in between this day to that day. I don't exactly remember the dates, but for those of you who want to know, feel free to refer back to that live stream. But yeah, it's nice that I have both now. So yeah, currently but this time round they gave no prediction whatsoever, so because they didn't have any ETA for new stock, which is like, and ETA basically stands for Electronic Travel Authority, so like they didn't have the Electronic Travel Authority for new stock, so like they couldn't tell, like they had no way of telling whether or not they had like no way of telling like when specific stock was gonna arrive and when specific stock that was gonna ship. Like they would just tell you when it shipped, and as soon as it's in the warehouse. They did that for the PS5, but like for the Xbox Series X, like they couldn't give a date for when it was gonna arrive. So like everyone that was expecting the Series X after they purchased it from SHOUTOUTS, we pretty much like, had to take a chance. Well, not in a way take a chance, but we basically had to wait. We pretty much like just had to expect it to arrive at any random day within like the next 4 weeks, which is, the best they could do for a prediction. So like it could take like 4 weeks or more considering it's a back order, but thank fuck the transition process was, much smoother than that. if I'm being completely honest. It was a lot smoother than that. And as a matter of fact, it didn't even take a week to arrive. It only took from like the previous Friday to the Tuesday after. So basically, it took 5 days for it to arrive. So like, I purchased it on the 30th of April. I purchased it on Friday the 30th of... I purchased it on Friday the 30th of April 2021, and then like, it arrived on Tuesday the 4th of May 2021. So like, it barely took a week. It took almost a week, but like, just 2 days short of a week, which is also 1 day quicker than... which is actually also 1 day quicker than how long it took for my PS5 to arrive. And I don't know why my phone's being weird, but what the fuck ever. Well, I don't think it's just to do with my phone, I think it's just to do with the charger and the way it just makes it buzz. But yeah, that's pretty much like what we had to put up with in terms of it arriving. Although I gotta say, like, what made it even more smoother, I think, is to do with the convenient timing of it arriving as well. It's probably to do with like the convenient timing of, you know, when they dropped the stock, because of the times that they actually open, you know, their warehouses in order for the items to arrive in their warehouses. Because like, the warehouses pretty much like, it dropped at around when it was almost 9 o'clock, so it was like, it was around like 8:45 or so of a stock drop, give or take. It was like in between that and 9. And their warehouses actually open at around 9 till 6. They're open from around 9 till 6 during the day, so that's what made, like, you know, the transition process like much smoother, due to like the timing of when the stock was dropped and also when their warehouses have opened. So it actually lined up quite nicely, to be honest. Like, that was a pretty neat lineup of, like, you know, how everything went down, with like the stock drop followed by a warehouse hours opening up. Like, they were just opening just after, you know, the stock, just after the Xbox Series X was officially sold out by like 9 o'clock. By like 9 AM. Hey denuox, welcome to the livestream, cheers for stopping by, he says hello. Yes, you've just joined the party, the Xbox Series X party. And another thing that was pretty much convenient, from the top of my head at least, well, I had it in my head earlier, but it was dropped at a convenient time. Like, the timing of it was like very convenient when it was dropped. And it was even more convenient how like I wasn't even working that day either, so yeah. On top of that, it worked out for the best. So yeah, like, it was a nice lineup in comparison to the PS5. Because I remember when I purchased the PS5, it was like the stock drop, it happened pretty much after I finished work, which is also another stroke of luck. But yeah, I was pretty lucky. Oh yeah, also another thing that I just remembered from the top of my head about the whole process is the window of opportunity that I had, and pretty much the whole process of like getting onto the checkout page. It was quick as fuck. This time I wasn't even put in a queue at all. I was sent straight to the checkout page, and I had time. And I legit had like more than enough time to just, you know, actually take my time purchasing the console. And just like that, I snapped up my Xbox Series X. I just copped one. And I was like, wow, that was a lot easier than getting the PS5. No, it's like legit, no fucking around. Yes, denuox. Or denuo, however you pronounce your username. Yes, he's in for the hype. But yeah, that's pretty much like the whole... That's pretty much like, you know, the whole showcase in terms of like, you know, the shipping and everything. And of course, you can't order more than one console, otherwise you'll get refunded, so yeah. And a £20 administration fee will be applied for cancellation and refund. So yeah, fuck that shit. And to wait like 20 working days for it to happen. It's like, but at the same time, you know not to make that mistake because they state that straight up on the checkout page. But anyways, moving forwards. Alright, so now that's pretty much... Right now that's that part pretty much out of the way. Now to actually showcase the console itself. And here we have it, people, the Xbox Series X. Officially in my possession. And as I've mentioned earlier, I also have the game Gears Tactics for the Xbox Series X. And also for the Xbox One as well. Because like the way they distribute Xbox games these days is that they bundle the two names together. Well, I say bundle, but they pretty much like, in a way, pack the two games together. So like, they just put both Xbox Series X and Xbox One on the cover of each box. But I think like for Xbox Series X games specifically, they put a sticker on top that says Xbox Series X. As you can see right here, I think to just, you know, make it even more clear that the game was actually, you know, made for the Xbox Series X in mind, but also backwards compatible for, or like, in a way backwards compatible for the Xbox One. Or like, forwards compatible, however you want to put it, because like backwards compatibility would be playing older games on a newer system, not the other way around. But yeah, it's nice to see people joining, and the hype is real. And yeah, I'll showcase the console as well. But yeah, apart from that, there are not that many games that are actually out for the Xbox Series X at the moment. And on top of that, like, I think that's another reason why the PS5 is also much higher demand in comparison. And of course, it goes without saying that the RTX 3080 graphics card is like being scalped to fucking oblivion. So like, fat chance you're gonna be getting that. Like, it's even, I think that's probably out of the three, that's like the hardest item to get your hands on, with this whole scalping situation going on. But yeah, let me just refresh my phone, people. I mean, Twitch has been having this problem, especially as of lately, like, it just doesn't want to play live streams, like, on the fucking app. Okay, now it's actually showcasing it. Okay, now I don't think some of that noise is coming from my phone. It sounds like it's coming from other rooms. But what the fuck ever. Or maybe it's just a chair, I don't know. I mean, it could be a multiple number of things. But anyways, back to business. Now for the Xbox Series X, man, the box looks so sick. I like, the approach that they take with the design. Especially in terms of the Xbox Series X. And as you can tell by the size of it, in comparison to the PS5, it's a smaller console. Like, it's a lot smaller than the PS5 in its actual size. So, like, it saves a lot of space. Honestly, like, consoles, they don't need to be that big. And the Xbox Series X is proof of that. They don't need to be that big in order to be powerful, especially since the Xbox Series X is actually 30% more powerful than the PS5, but to be honest, it could do with like more games coming out for it, which of course goes back to how they could have waited another year to release it. But anyways, now to showcase the box itself. So yeah, as you can see, the box is looking cool right here. So like, of course we have the Xbox logo up here and the Xbox Series X logo down at the bottom left with like, I think the flagship logo up at the top right, and then up at the top left, and the Xbox Series X logo at the bottom left. And then as you can see, it's like a diagonal shot of the top of the Xbox Series X itself. And I've got to say, like, that's like, a cool approach in order to, in a way, capture the aesthetic of the console. Especially since you see like the green light off the top of the console just powering on, which is really sick. And of course the logo highlighting. And as you can see, it's also stating its capabilities, 4K at 120 frames per second, or refresh rate, however you want to put it. Because like, I don't know, some people get that mixed up, especially when it comes to developers. Like, they mix up frames per second with refresh rate. And as you can also see, it has a 1TB SSD, a 1TB solid state drive, which is pretty cool. And to be honest, like, the PS5 could have done with that, but instead it had like an 825GB hard drive, or an 825GB SSD. Well, to my memory anyway. But anyways, that's pretty much that part covered, and I'll showcase like the top and bottom in a bit, but I'll just showcase the sides and the back first, just to build it up. Okay, so now on the right here we have like pretty much all the technical information of the console itself. So like, it states all the features that it has. So not only is it 4K, it also has 8K HDR, so yeah.
Nice.
Oh hey Cola Pro, welcome to the live stream, cheers for stopping by.
Hey,
And yeah,
thanks.
I actually got the Xbox Series X now as well as the PS5. Oh hey old dirty bubba, welcome to the live stream. He's like, hey guys, emoji, then he's like, Xbox Craigasm.
Craigasm.
Man, like, these emojis are priceless.
Indeed. But yeah, new gen hype is here.
Yeah, new gen hype.
GoPro's got the Xbox Series X.
Yeah, I'm officially up to date with both 9th gen consoles now. About fucking time. But yeah,
I knew you'd struggled with getting PS5
yeah,
and
yeah, the PS5 was harder to get, not gonna lie. But yeah,
because I guess the sales were bigger.
Yeah, the sales are more massive and the
demand.
demand is higher too. But anyways, back to the features. Okay, so pretty much this states it in a way, technical aspect, but at the same time, it gives a little bit more features in comparison to what was stated on the front. So yeah, as you can see, it goes up. There's 4K gaming up to 120 frames per second, a 1TB solid state drive, up to 8K high dynamic range, which of course is HDR, which is pretty cool. There's not a lot that supports 8. There are not a lot of devices that support 8K. As a matter of fact, 4K still isn't fully supported to this day. So like, of course, these 9th gen consoles are also future proof, and also has a variable refresh rate, which is like VRR over here, which helps. And this logo right here that you saw at the front of the box, it's also stated over here, and they actually represents Xbox Velocity architecture, which is pretty much what
It
they
is a
use
bit
to make the
dark in the
console.
room, by the way.
Yeah, it pretty
Yeah.
much is. The room is pretty dark. Wait, let me just switch to OBS, therefore I know I get like a better point of view. And also, oldirtybubba says, "How you doing? This new gem hype is great." You know, we're all as good as we can be, but yeah, so far pretty decent for what it's worth. It's great, and I appreciate everyone stopping by. So yeah, pretty much like I can bring it up so then like the lighting can actually, you know, make it a bit clearer to see, but at the same time it's like we don't know. Especially since, you know, the weather outside it was pissing down earlier as well. And also it has a 4K Blu-ray player, just like the PS5. And then of course like it shows the contents down here, of course it includes the console, the Xbox Series X console, the wireless controller, the ultra high speed HDMI cable, and of course wireless networking capability. But of course I'll use an Ethernet cable anyway, because that's a much better form of internet connection. Okay, I'll showcase the back now, which in a way also has like an interesting aesthetic to it, and wow, like the camera just wanted to fall over like a retard. But at the same time, I think like the cable was causing conflict. It was causing conflict with my pillow, so that was on my chair. Okay, now that's a lot better. Alright, so this is what the back looks like. And that's a perfect representation, the fact that they put Halo in the background with like Master Chief. So I think this kind of represents like, yeah, it's a flagship franchise. Like you legit can't get an Xbox without Halo. As a matter of fact, like as I've mentioned to the viewers earlier, I've actually pre-ordered Halo Infinite as well for the Xbox Series X. So this is gonna be cool. Yeah, it says power your dreams. And then of course like it showcases everything back here.
What the mascot of the Xbox?
Yeah, he's like the true
honestly.
Xbox mascot right there. It says the fastest, most powerful Xbox ever. Well, of course, it's the most powerful Xbox ever, not the most powerful device ever, because of course, PC Master Race.
So would you say the PS5 or the Xbox Series X is stronger in hardware?
Well, it's been officially stated that the Xbox Series X is 30% more powerful than the PS5. But at the same time, like the PS5 at the moment has a richer library of games.
Right. Yeah.
Because like when I was looking for Xbox Series X games to buy, like most of the time you couldn't really tell whether or not it was an Xbox One game or an Xbox Series X game or an Xbox One game, because of like the way they distribute their games now. Like they bundle both titles together, and like sometimes like there's no way of telling unless like they actually put the Xbox Series X sticker on the top right corner of the box to like further validate that it's for the Xbox Series X. But most of these games now, like they treat it like it's a computer.
Pretty much, you can do almost everything you can do on a computer. Like they even want to put Discord on the hardware.
Yeah.
On the hardware software.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the PS5 are pretty much like Sony are pretty much adopting Discord at this point as well. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
And also, like in terms of, and this is what the left looks like. Pretty basic, but also pretty cool at the same time. By the way, in terms of like the consoles, of how like Xbox how Microsoft are treating their Xboxes more like computers as well, in terms of how they run their games. It's a pretty interesting approach that they're taking. It's like, you know how like there's a new game that comes out and it's made for, you know, more powerful hardware, but like older computers can still play it for having, like, you know, inferior hardware in comparison, but it's still, like, you know, compatible with a current game. It's like that with the Xbox Series X and the Xbox One. So in a way, for like distributing both titles, like pretty much like, you know, distributing both consoles as like playing the exact same version of a game. Effectively, like, you're playing the same version of a game, but on just this time on different pieces of hardware, as opposed to treating them as like two separate versions of the game for separate hardware generations. Now they're like bundling them both together, like pretty much how PC have always like done their games in terms of hardware. Because like PC was more general, but now like I think Xbox in a way are like generalizing their games with like cross compatibility.
Yeah, like compatibility with PC with Xbox One. It's nice to see.
Yeah, it's like, it's nice to see them combined, but at the same time, like, you know, it helps for it to not cause any confusion. And here we have like it's, and as I was saying earlier on, pretty much like we have a basic appearance over here with the Xbox Series X right in the middle, with like the Xbox logo up here in the Xbox Series, with the Xbox logo up on the top right and the Xbox Series X logo down on the left, on the bottom left. Sorry, I mean top left for this logo and top and bottom left for this logo, and of course in the bottom right it says 1TB SSD. I mean, it's about time consoles started having solid state drives as well. It's gotten to the point.
Yeah, it should be a standard going into the future.
Yeah. In a way, it's like more than a standard. It's like pretty much like, you know, a convention right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, the top here, okay, now at the top of the box, it's pretty much just like, as you've just seen on the left, but more of a horizontal approach. So now we have the Xbox logo on the top left, and the Xbox Series X completely to the right of the side of this area, which in a way is a cool representation with the actual console there. And at the bottom, like, we have like a green strap over here, or like a green stripe, which in a way like represents the classic flagship color that they had. And then as we see on the bottom, of course, it's all just warning information, and the bottom is completely green, unlike the rest of the box. So yeah.
I like the design of the box. It's nice.
Yeah, it's a cool design of a box, and of course, like they have the barcode and shit over here. But of course, this information that of course is not like that information to take note of, but it's just helpful for the safety warnings and shit like that, which of course goes without saying. By the way we're gonna actually open this box, it's in a way quite convenient because, as some of you have probably seen, there are actually, you know, sticker tabs over here, which we can use to remove. So then, like, I don't have to, instead of, you know, actually using tape, I can just remove this off here, and they even have like an indicator of how you take them off. As you can see, an arrow over here. So like they have one here and they have one on the other side as well. So they're both on the top, like they're both on the top corners, but like placed at the back of the box, which is an interesting approach. Oh, about time the comments started showing up on my phone as well.
Yeah. The design is simple and it works. Like,
yeah, the simplistic design that works. That certainly works. And old dirty Bubba says, "It's 4 a.m. where I'm at, but I'll be lurking." Alright, cheers for stopping by and cheers for the lurk as well. He says, seems good emoji. Yeah, seems more than good. Seems prestigious. Okay.
But the box isn't big. It's like medium size. It's it's.
Yeah.
And I look at it like it's.
Yeah, especially with the console itself. It's a lot shorter than the PS5 for a fact. And the console itself is also different. Like the PS5 is massive in comparison. Okay, let's now to actually unbox the console itself. And this is smooth to take off.
I'm guessing you're gonna save the packaging for some collecting.
Oh yeah, I'm certainly gonna save the
hobby.
packaging for collective purposes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take my time with this too because like don't want to ruin the packaging, but at the same time it's like I'll take my time. It's a chill live stream after all.
And they say better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
True.
That's always the case. Better safe than sorry.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a chill live stream, yeah.
And also another news, people, I've officially, as of my previous live stream, I've officially hit affiliate as well. So yeah, now it's about time I've officially hit affiliate status on Twitch. And yes, I do have a Twitch affiliate special celebration live stream planned. But then of course like my Xbox Series X arrived. And also, speaking of showcase live streams, I've actually have another showcase live stream lined up as well, which might happen sometime after this. I don't know whether it's going to happen later on today or tomorrow, but we'll see. I can't promise anything.
What are you showcasing?
I might mention that a bit later on, but yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, this showcase live stream I have, okay, I finally got this off. It takes a bit of time, but
yeah.
You know, I think I might keep these stickers as well because, like, especially since you know, like, it was from the original manufacturers themselves, and it's not some cheap shit.
Of course, yeah.
It's not like some of that cheap plastic shit that you know don't want to.
That you
can just dispose of.
Of course.
Yeah, you can just like that cheap plastic shit that you would usually get.
Yeah, I know it. This is some Supreme stuff.
Yeah, 100% Supreme. This is like it just makes even more for the build up, to be honest.
Yeah.
And let motherfuckers have
he's gonna open it.
Yeah, motherfuckers having the Xbox Series X feeling like Snoop Dogg right now.
Strongly attached to the box.
I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty firm. But in a way, it's a good thing. Okay. I think there might be a specific way to open this. Actually, yeah, there is, because I think like these flaps, they open outwards like this. It's an interesting approach that they took. Okay, so I think I'm gonna have to do it like this. Just like open it up. Oh yeah, they have like stickers at the bottom as well. And they're both on the same
You don't
side.
really need to take them. Yeah.
I think you probably do because then like it slides it out. Yeah, I can feel that it slides out. So
yeah. It's interesting. It reminds me of those collection editions of like when they make like a boxes with the game, and then there's some items
Yeah,
from
it's like they do that with
franchise.
specific games. I think they did that with games like Destiny and stuff.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah. Although I gotta say, like Microsoft, they handle their stuff. They handle their packaging better than Activision do, though, because like Activision, the way they handle it, it's easy to, like, it's easy to damage the box and like the artwork and everything with the way, with the cheap materials that they use.
Yeah,
It's a fucking piss take. It's a massive fucking piss take to deal with.
I can imagine.
And also, I think and also in terms of achievements, as I was speaking earlier with Twitch, also as some of you are also already aware, just by looking at my stats, I've also recently hit 700 followers, and yes, 700 followers special celebration live stream also coming up. Although it'll probably be split into 2 live streams, just like my 600 followers special celebration live stream,
Hey.
because of what I have planned for them and how that one went in terms of like the way it
And
was
you reached
planned
all of
and
this
the
in
way
a
it
few
turned
months.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of how it was planned and the way it was turned out.
You're going definitely faster
I see
than
you
me.
subscribed as well. You're using my emotes now too. Cheers for the sub, Gola.
Yeah, I mean, no, I just unlocked it with the channel points.
Oh, you unlocked it at channel points. Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, all these custom emotes, they're all work in progress at the moment.
But yeah, like when I get the credit card, which I haven't gotten yet, like I'll be doing some subs on some people's streams, like
Yeah.
that I support, obviously.
So yeah, people, I officially have channel points now too, so feel free to redeem them. Even though I haven't set up any rewards for them as of yet.
This is the default rewards, basically.
Yeah, it's the default rewards that they have in place.
Yeah. And there you go.
Say, wow. And yeah, that's officially off. Okay, let me just switch to OBS.
Yeah.
Okay, I think now this is how it's gonna play out. Yeah, it slides out like this, so like I gotta open it from the back.
Yeah.
This is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I wonder how I'm actually gonna open this up because like the bottom over here. I think
Just
this is
explore
pretty
it,
interesting because I slide out like this and then like I open the sides. I think that's how it works out.
And then probably.
But
Yeah.
it looks like the back is actually holding everything, which is weird.
Huh.
It unravels everything. Just like that. It has another box inside in a way. That's pretty interesting. Makes it look like a fucking Russian doll or what the fuck ever. Oh, this looks sick.
Nice.
Okay. So this is the first thing we have, like a quick start guide for the Xbox Series X. Which is pretty cool. And yeah, we pretty much know like how to set up a console. It just shows the basics of where everything is, like
First, yeah.
USB ports,
it's
Ethernet
good to read
ports,
if you
storage expansion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to read. HDMI and of course the power supply. Yeah, this is just basic instructions and even tells you how to use the Xbox app as well. And then of course like the whole controller setup and how to use the disc tray. I don't think the Xbox Series S has a disc tray to my memory, so like yeah, I think it's digital only, but I'm not sure. But the Xbox Series X, of course, is a disc drive and it's much better. Especially since like the Series S only supports like 1440p at maximum, at least to what I remember seeing, with like the comparison of the specs. Okay, so I think like that's the back that they have. This is a funny way of actually, you know, arranging like the whole Xbox and everything. I think this is where they have like all the connectors. Yeah, they have all the cables and controllers in here. And back here they have the actual console. But yeah, I'll showcase all that stuff first before actually getting to the main console itself. Because like, why not make the build up? Why not, you know, make the build up all the more eventful?
Of course.
Okay, so here we are with like all of this stuff. Okay, so this is pretty much like how they have it. Just like they got instruction manual and everything, product and regulatory guide. So it's like, or regulatory guide, limited warranty and agreement. So yeah, like we know the shiz. There's like all the technical jargon that they just chuck in, just like with any console. And the stuff right here, like straight off the bat, we have the power supply cord. We have the power supply cord and the HDMI cable, the high-speed HDMI cable. As they also say over here, the ultra high-speed HDMI cable. I don't think you can see it here, but because of the lighting, but in a way they have it like carved in. Like in a way it sort of laminates, well not exactly laminates, but it illuminates, as you can just about see. I see QR codes like on the HDMI cable as well, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Fucking QR codes. Okay, I think like what else they have. I'm not sure if I have any more like in this part because there's a part that's blocking it, but over here we have the Xbox Series X controller with once again another fucking QR code.
Mm-hmm.
And like this generation QR codes, like taken to the next level.
Defo.
And here we have the Xbox Series X controller, and wow, like it actually feels pretty smooth. And this button right here is actually, it looks in a way more glossy in a sense. It looks more like it has like, you know, a chrome or metallic approach to it, which is pretty cool.
Looks good. Looks good. I can imagine it feels good. It
looks really fresh. Even the D-pad feels different.
Oh yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, apart from that, it's like it's pretty much the same. Yeah, the fucking zigzag jumping, like NSS and that shit. Yeah, speedrun strats, inside speedrun strats. But yeah, just apart from that, this is pretty much like just like your any, you know, Xbox controller designed from the Xbox One onwards. But I think like, I don't know, this in a way feels smaller in comparison. It looks and feels smaller, but at the same time it does feel comfortable. And at the bottom it does feel different too, with like this material that they have going on. Like the material that I have at the bottom of the controller. And of course back here we have like charging port and the 3.5mm jack for importing your headset or for plugging in your headset.
Yeah.
And of course it comes with batteries. That's a given.
Xbox still sticking with the batteries.
Yeah, like after all this time they're still sticking with like these fucking like batteries that they have going on.
Yeah.
It's like they've had that shit since the Xbox 360 and like they're still sticking with it. Like a battery pack is much better. Like, especially after all this time.
That's one thing they could have done better, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one improvement that, they could always improve on. But they keep going back to it for whatever reason. Talk about backpedaling. But yeah, that's pretty much like... There's not much more in this compartment as like... It's thicker down here, but at the same time it's like... There seems to be nothing else to showcase. Oh yeah, and they also have like a sticker up here saying Ultra Certified Cable, High Speed Ultra HDMI, and a QR code. CNIMF17. www.hdmi.org. T40 CNIMFH17. Interesting how they pretty much have this all set up. Okay, I think I'll put all this aside now. I'm starting to remember whether or not these are AAA batteries or AA batteries. I think the AAA batteries are smaller, to my memory. Okay, let's chuck all this aside. I take it some people are just, taking it in. It's only a matter of time, people.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time. Okay. Yeah, now it's pretty much like a safe way to showcase this. But it's pretty interesting how they do it like that, because they have this over there, but they have a console over here. But I don't think it will make sense for me to turn it around and then showcase it like that, so I might as well do it like this. Okay, time to reveal the console itself, as you can see, and this is a nice wrapper as well, not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
It's an interesting approach. Okay, for those of you at home, I bet some of you are doing a drum roll right now, so yeah, drum roll please. I was gonna say, feel free to do a drum roll yourself.
Yeah.
The console's wrapped up really nicely, not gonna lie.
Yeah, they've done that pretty good.
Yeah, they did a nice job with it. Okay.
It is recyclable, the thing.
Yeah.
That was inside.
Oh, they make you place it like
the
this.
box.
Yeah, it is recyclable. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we have it. It's wrapped up in a nice material, along with this ribbon that they have. Ribbon or banner, however you want to put it. So yeah, they have.
It's like a present.
Yeah, wrapped up
it's
a present inside a present, effectively. And there's the opening to the ribbon as well at the bottom. And over here, to showcase the actual main part, the front of the ribbon, that says "Power your dreams." Microsoft, they want you to power your dreams of Xbox. It's literally just a cuboid shape. It's legit just a cuboid shape in the size of a mini fridge. Okay. I really don't want to damage this, so I'm going to be really careful. But I'm going to see which approach I'm going to take. I see the opening. That's a good thing I didn't carelessly pull it. That could have been a fucking disaster. But hype is real, people. Hype is real.
Oh yeah, for real. It's gonna be nice, actually.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how it feels turning it on for the first time and all this stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be real refreshing. Although, I do imagine it having.
Yeah.
Although I can picture it having that same sort of sound effect that that year when it turns on, since like the later models of the Xbox Series X, I mean the Xbox 360, it's like makes it sound like a fucking microwave when it's like ding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not necessarily ping, but it's like ding. There's pretty jokes as well. But anyways, yeah, time
Yeah.
to power our dreams of Xbox. Now for the big reveal itself. Man, like they do big reveal after big reveal. It's like they're pulling a Russian doll scenario over here. And they have like a whole fucking Russian doll predicament scenario going on over here. Oh, and they have tape over here as well. You know, just for novelty's sake and also collector's sake, I don't want to like ruin this material either. I'll just take off the tape nice and slowly. Just remove the tape. Wow, this is looking cool. We already see half of the console.
Nice.
Oh, we have more
Must
tape
feel
up
satisfying
here.
removing this.
Oh, it really
Yeah.
is. I'm savoring the moment right here. Okay, you can just about see the front of the console right now. Yeah, people, I apologize for all this tape scenario, but they have going on.
Microsoft loves their tape.
Yeah, Microsoft loves like their materials altogether. They love their tape. At least this makes it that bit easier. And here we have it, the moment of truth. Man, it looks so sick. Alright, and here we have it, people, and I'll just like throw this to the side to make space for the console itself. And here we have the Xbox Series X right here in person. Wow, I'm gonna have to move it back because like it's so tall that my webcam is gonna have to look down for this shit. So yeah, okay, that should be enough. But yeah, here we have the Xbox Series X right here. And the top, I can actually see a fan inside it, which is really cool. In a way, like, that actually
Ooh.
makes sense with like how they have like these massive ass holes at the top. Therefore, like, it has the green light, you know, reflecting from the top, plus like the fan like shooting all the air out. I'm not gonna lie, like that's good for the
Wow.
console's ventilation. It's better than
It's like a
having,
skyscraper.
yeah, in a way, it's sort of like a skyscraper, in a sense. Yeah, it's jokes at the same time as well. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Okay, so pretty much like this is how like they have it. They have like the power button over here for like the Xbox logo, and of course like the eject button and the disk drive over here. And then over here, of course, like we have a USB port for the controller. If like, you know, the player uses to use a charging cable and shit. And of course we have the sync button. Just dope. And like they have bits and pieces over here. I think like these represent like the parts of the console that was screwed in place internally. Would have like these plastic tabs.
It could be for. Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
That's probably what it is. Okay, and
Yeah.
over here we have like the Xbox logo down here. Oh wait, let me just. Yeah, we have the Xbox logo down here. It's pretty light, but also pretty heavy at the same time. If you catch my drift.
Yeah. Oh, you're getting raided by Dual Karibo.
Oh, hey, Joel Kribo, cheers for the raid. He's raiding with a party of one, but even so, I highly appreciate the gesture. Cheers for the raid.
The thought is what matters.
Yeah, it's the thought that
Cheers.
counts. It's always the thought that counts when it comes to the raids.
Yeah.
And then, of course, at the sides here, it's all blank with just like the plastic covers and everything, which I've mentioned before. Pretty interesting design though, gotta say. And at the back, we pretty much have like everything that we used to hook up the console, it feels like I can just take this out based on, based on its design and everything, and how it pretty much has like a cutout section. Wait, let me just switch back to OBS. I know the lighting could be better, but that's just the whole situation of the room. The room isn't that big, and plus, like, the weather in a way is sort of unconventional, but it is what it is. Okay, so like here we have like all the components and everything. Yeah, I have to hold it up just to showcase everything. Okay, so well, like we have like, I'm not sure what that's supposed to be, but there's a padlock next to it. Like right up here, like it sort of has like a padlock next to this sort of port that they have, or whether it's a port or not. But anyways, down here we have the power supply port, the HDMI port, the Ethernet port, the storage expansion port, and of course the two USB ports. Oh yeah, by the way, I remember the very first time when an image of the Xbox Series X was actually leaked, and they didn't have like, it was like a prototype image of a console, and they didn't even have labels for the console, and people were speculating like what this specific port was, like right next to the HDMI cable. People like Alpha Omega Sin and such, people like Alpha Omega Sin and such, especially such as myself, we all had like big questions about this port. It's like, our big question is, what the fuck is that port next to the HDMI port?
You should tell us.
We're about to find out. But yeah, as you can see, it's the storage expansion port. But I'll show it like this. Therefore, some of you can read. For those of you who can't read, like diagonally, well, not necessarily diagonally, but more so, but read like in a slide sort of sense, or a slide perspective per se. But yeah, it's not such a massive console, but at the same time, like for a console that's so powerful, it's actually quite nice. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It's not like the PS5, even though the PS5 is a sick console, not gonna lie.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, honestly, they're both sick, and they're both nice to have.
Yeah, man.
Honestly.
Especially in this,
100%.
especially in this day and age. Oh, hey, welcome to the live stream, whoever just joined for commentary.
It's Tunisian King.
Hey, Tunisian King, welcome to the live stream.
Thank you.
Wait, I'm actually showcasing my Xbox Series X right now. Oh yeah, TK47. Okay. I certainly remember you.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, it's in the self-promotion chat of the Dingo Crash Discord server. Feel free to, hop on the link.
Yeah, don't worry, I got your link.
Slap that link and hop onto the live stream.
I mean, we're both came from the Wumpa, like when you shared in the self-promotion.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. But yeah, I had to whip out so many Discord servers. But yeah, anyways, here we are.
Nice.
And also, last but not least, the bottom of the console, it has its own vertical stand, like, already attached to it, which is really cool. It has like a circular vertical stand, which in a way makes up for the vents over here. And you can see, like, wow, like, you can see the disk drive here too. In a way, it's like a thick disk drive, but at the same time, like, it's thin in comparison to the disk drives that I've, swapped and replaced in terms of like dealing with computers, taking care of computer maintenance in general. I gotta say, like, this is in a way one of the smallest disk drives I've ever seen. Like, just looking at its proportions from the bottom. But yeah, for those of you who want a better view, like, this right here is the disk drive. And as you can see, like, there's a barrier over here. It's pretty interesting how, like, you don't have to open up the console just to see, certain parts of the inside.
Hello.
Hey, Georges, for stopping
Yeah.
by. We have more people joining the commentary now. Even though in a way this live stream is sort of coming to an end.
Yeah.
Oh hey, Nathan, welcome to the live stream. Well, welcome to the commentary since you raided. But yeah, how you liking the Xbox One? I mean Xbox Series X. That's another thing with like Microsoft and their name strategies. Like it's easy for people to mix them up. Especially with how they had the Xbox One X. Speaking of which, I actually have the Xbox One X Project Scorpio edition, and that was actually the first console that I did a showcase live stream of as well, so yeah. And now here I am with the Xbox Series X. How about that? So what?
Very nice.
Yeah, fucking epic. So like, what do you think of the whole aesthetic of the Xbox Series X? Especially in comparison to the PS5.
Actually, PS5 looks better, I guess.
Of course, like the PS5 has like a really cool look. It has like an epic appearance, especially with how futuristic it looks in comparison. This is pretty basic, but at the same time, it's nice. It's a nice console for its size. It doesn't take up a lot of, space on top of shelves and stuff.
Yeah, but what is really is how like
What matters is how
what's
it
inside.
performs. Yeah, what matters is the
How it
hardware.
performs, yeah.
What it has to offer.
Exactly.
And although the Xbox Series X is 30% more powerful than the PS5, like the PS5 has a richer library of games at the moment, especially when it comes to exclusives. It's like there weren't that many
The
launch
story
titles
continues.
when they came out. Yeah, the story continues. It does not end there.
I mean, it's obviously this is similar how it started off with the last gen, like PS4.
I mean, like
I'm pretty sure it's weaker.
It's funny because like it's history repeating itself. It's like companies, for whatever reason, don't learn and they make the same mistakes as they did previously, like releasing a console a year early or like not having enough games to come out. It's the same case of E3 as well, of like how E3 2013 or 2014 was in a way like more of a build up to the next E3 the following year, like E3 2014 or 2015.
Yeah, I agree.
Like it's interesting like how it turns out like that, but at the same time it's like, if you really want people to be engaged, just like do like what's best for your console and do what's best for your product, do what's best for your target audience as well.
Exactly, man.
Alright, now speaking of games, now I'll just open up this game that I have right here, which is Gears Tactics, which is basically the whole Halo Wars approach to the Gears of War franchise.
Oh, yes. I heard so much about that.
Yeah, it's backwards compatible, like it's also like cross-generation compatible with the Xbox One as well, but like, I think it's also like a mainline Xbox Series X title. But they make it playable in the Xbox One as well, so then people, in a way, I don't know, it's in a way sort of, for those of you who don't want to spend a lot of money, it puts them off buying the Xbox Series X, because they already have the Xbox One. For those who already have the console, it's like, why would I buy another console just to buy these new games when I can still play them on my current console? But the Xbox Series X is more powerful. It offers like more, like it offers like better performance and enhanced visuals and everything. It's the same case of Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time, and that's actually the first time I've actually seen that sort of example where, they, in a way, they distribute both consoles and assign them to like one version of a game, as opposed to having like separate versions of a game for both consoles. And the only difference is the performance and the graphics. And like, for one that has the upper hand in terms of like, like hardware components and everything, of course takes advantage of like you know, it takes advantage of like an updated patch that supports, you know, all of the enhanced features. So like in a way, you're playing the same version of the game on the Xbox Series X as it is on the Xbox One, but you just unlocked the enhanced features of having enhanced details and of course better performance. But yeah, anyways, I think I'll get my scissors out just to cut the seal open. But yeah, anyways, this is how it looks from the front, and of course like they have like IGN PR over here, like 10 out of 10 IGN. It says excellent IGN, which is pretty jokes. And of course like it comes with Gears Tactics, comes with like bonus DLC, comes with like the Thrashball Call character pack, which I think is pretty much like the conventional DLC that it comes with anyway. And back here, it's pretty much a showcase of what it has: aggressive gameplay and customizable squad. So in a way, it's sort of like Halo Wars to my memory, but with its own approach. Yeah. Rise up and fight. Gears Tactics is the fast-paced turn-based strategy game from one of the most acclaimed video game franchises, new, updated, and expanded for Xbox consoles. And we have like ratings from Destructoid: 90 out of 100 from Destructoid, 87 out of 100 from GameStar, and 90 out of 100 from Gaming Trend.
Nice.
That's pretty interesting. But yeah, like it's funny how like GameStar gave like 3 points off in comparison to the rest of the two, but it still matches up.
It must be a great game.
Yeah, it's certainly it's gotta be a great game without a doubt. Okay, so like now we have like the coalition. I don't like the reflection to reflect on me too much, which is why I'm holding it the way I'm holding it, but yeah. Okay, we have like Splash Damage and Unreal Engine. I feel like those are the developers and the publishers over there, but then of course we have the Unreal Engine over here and Xbox Game Studios. Hence more PR. And then of course like we have the features over here optimized for Xbox Series X. As explained previously in smart delivery, a surprise. 4K Ultra HD, HDR10 video. Yes, it's a single player game as well. And you can also use keyboard and mouse as well, which is funny.
Wow.
It states it right here, keyboard
So you
and
can
mouse. So I think you can hook
Which
up a
is handy.
keyboard and mouse to your Xbox Series
Wow.
X. Use it as an actual fucking
No,
computer.
Yeah. Dude, you should try that. You
It's
need to try
interesting.
that.
Yeah, that'd be sick. I don't know. Like, I might, since I'm actually using this keyboard and mouse for my PC, I might like get a separate set. I think you know what's funny? Like Xbox and Razer have actually teamed up to make like a mechanical keyboard for the Xbox. Like I remember seeing like a reveal of that in one of the previous E3 conventions.
Right.
I don't know, I might get a mechanical keyboard for my Xbox, but we'll see. They probably have that like a set, like a keyboard and mouse set. It makes sense since like they teamed up with Razer, so honestly I'm not surprised that it offers keyboard and mouse. Like extra peripherals for consoles. Like extra peripherals for the win.
Hell yeah.
Okay, now I'm just gonna like use my scissors to open this up. Yeah, I'll do this off screen just because it helps. Because they have the plastic wrapping like really tight. Especially with like these Xbox Series X games. They've been doing that with Xbox One as well. Okay, so here we have it. Okay, now we pretty much have like a clearer glimpse of the box itself, which is really cool. Nice little showcase real quick, since I've already explained everything in detail. And yeah, now you can actually see everything in much clearer detail, especially since with the features where it says keyboard and mouse. It's really cool. Right, you always got a lot of like that fresh appearance, the whole new case look. Even the Xbox Series X sticker looks nice. And here we have it. And yeah, they put the disc on the side for whatever reason. They put the disc like on the left side instead of the right side of like Xbox games.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
They've been doing that with Xbox One games. They've been doing that since the Xbox One games, and now like they're continuing that shit with the Xbox Series X. I don't understand like why they made that change, but
Yeah. Well, my Xbox Series X games is the same as that.
yeah, it's pretty unconventional, but like it's what they did.
Even though I don't own an Xbox Series X yet, simply because there's not really many in stock to actually purchase one.
Yeah, but I managed to snap mine up off Shop2, which is in a way like quite lucky. I think like next time Shop2 drop, you should like, you know, keep an eye on it. Like, just like use the app called Hotstock, and then like they'll notify you. But yeah, it's in a way games lose a lot of value when they don't come with a manual, and that's the thing with like physical games these days. They don't come with manuals anymore. And yeah, I'm not showing the back of this because of course it has the code which I'm gonna enter myself. So yeah, pretty much we have like the Thrashball coal pack. Like, but yeah, where my thumb is, that's where the code is. So yeah, I'm not gonna showcase that shit. But apart from that shit, you really don't need to know. Oh, and they have like a reflective Xbox logo over here. Although they could have done that on the other side just as easily, but for whatever reason, they decided to change it. They decided to put the disc on the
disc looks cool, actually.
Yeah, the disc looks cool.
Oh yeah, that's unorthodox.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
unorthodox, not gonna lie.
Nice.
And of course, I've used the brand new Microsoft logo over here. We have Gears Tactics, and of course, in epic condition, as per usual. It always looks sick. Yeah, I always showcase the condition because it's like fun as fuck. And it's interesting as well.
Yeah.
It's actually quite dope how you can actually, you know, see through the warnings as well. You can actually see the cover through the warnings in the back.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool.
Real nice. I agree.
Okay, I'll knock my camera back a bit, but what the fuck ever. But anyways, that's pretty much everything that I had to showcase with the Xbox Series X. And this is like, in a way, it does look somewhat bigger in person, but at the same time, it's like, it's still not that big of a console in size, at the very least. And wait, I think I'll move this box. Just to make space. Yeah, I'm just closing it up just to make more space. And then just like flip it around. I don't know why like my bed is just tilting shit, but what the fuck ever. Okay, so this is pretty much like the Xbox Series X right here. I'll put all the stuff in front just to like represent it nicely. Yeah, I'll turn my headset off, which is why like I don't think I can hear you guys talking.
Huh.
But yeah, it was just so I can move stuff easier. And I know I have a wireless headset, but like I've been charging that. Okay, like one of the stickers got stuck on my Gears Tactics game, but what the fuck ever. Yeah, the stickers that you put on that comes on top of the Xbox Series X console. Well, not the console, but like the box for the console anyway, the official retail box.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll deal with some of that later. Actually, no, there's no space to showcase that. Fuck it. But anyways, that pretty much like concludes what I have to showcase in terms of the Xbox Series X. But let me just even this up so that it ends up nicely. Okay, that looks decent enough. Alright, so now that officially concludes the entire showcase of the Xbox Series X, and for what it was worth, this was actually fun. I know it was quite a piss take that I've had to delay it because of OBS Studio and Logitech capture software both being absolutely fucking retarded, not cooperating, so I had to use it as a game capture source as a backup option. But in a way, this backup option actually turned out for the best now, especially since, you know, now it doesn't want to detect it as a video capture device source anymore. So yeah, this is now my next best bet for using my Logitech, for actually using my Logitech Brio 4K webcam. And also, like, speaking of showcase live streams, I know I mentioned I had another showcase live stream coming up. Oh hey DanKilgrave, welcome to the live stream. And I'm literally just about to wrap up, so like, yeah, you pretty much came as this live stream is pretty much coming to an end, so like, not the best time, but I highly appreciate you stopping by either way. And yes, I'll play Crash in future live streams, don't you worry about that. Don't fret about that whatsoever. I mean, Crash Bandicoot is a given, especially with this channel.
We can even do a race or two if you want. I'm up for it always.
Yeah, probably in the future. But yeah, races are fun to do.
Okay. Nice.
But,
Could do Wrath of Cortex.
yeah, man, that'd actually be jokes. Wrath of Cortex,
Yeah.
aka the OG Crash 4.
Indeed.
Yeah. But it's nice how Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time is out on PC now. And the funny thing is that it's £10 cheaper than the Nintendo Switch version as well.
I praise the PC release every day.
I'm not even joking, it's like roughly £10 cheaper.
I know. I bought it on Bellnet. And,
yeah, same here. I bought
I'm
it on
almost done.
Battle.net.
Nice. Very nice.
But anyways, in terms of like, yeah, in terms of future showcase live streams that I've planned, I mentioned that I had another one up next, and as a matter of fact, for those of you who actually want to know, I've officially also just got the RetroTink 5X Pro, which is like now the current latest RetroTink device that they have going on, and this is pretty much a device that should be like one of the first of its kind, especially since like it's from none other than Mike Chi, and it pretty much offers like the groundbreaking feature of where it has like a triple buffer, to where like it pretty much it makes up for more compatibility with like, you know, future capture cards, as opposed to having like to use specific capture cards just to have like a stable signal. So yeah, like the RetroTink 5X Pro should be like the device to actually, you know, give people the ability to have more of an authentic experience with hooking up their older consoles to their modern capture cards that you know, support HDMI, especially 4K, since this one actually, especially since with 4K capture cards, even though like this one go up to 4K, but this one is actually the first of its kind to actually have 1440p support, which is 2K resolution.
Oh well.
So yeah, it's pretty much one of the first
Pretty
of its
impressive.
kind. Yeah, it is pretty impressive for what it's worth. And yeah, I might actually... I'm not sure if I'll do that, like... I'm not sure if I'll do that showcase live stream, like, later on or tomorrow or sometime next week, but we'll see what happens. I can't promise anything, but all I know is that, you know, it's in my plans, like, it's in my lineup, so at the very least. So yeah, feel free to stick around for that live stream.
Cool.
Okay, I had to mute my mic for a bit, just to give a warning, but what the fuck ever. And Dude1 says, Series X or PS5? Are you asking about a preference? But yeah, like, I don't think I have a preference at the moment. I mean, to be honest, I don't really have preferences in general when it comes to these consoles, because I'm a multi-platformer myself. I don't see the point in, like, limiting myself to one platform.
Obviously, like, if you have the money, but people that can only afford one console.
Yeah, some people, like, can only afford one console, therefore, like, I don't know, I think that's, in a way, sort of drives their preferences, in a way.
Yeah.
Dude1 says, which is... Oh, what were you gonna say?
No, I was like, if someone prefers Ratchet and Clank, like Spider-Man and shit like that, then they're gonna get the PS5.
Yeah, like, that's gonna be their first instinct.
Yeah. But then if someone likes Halo, they like that game you just showed off. I forgot its name.
Gear Tactics.
Gears Tactics. Yeah, pretty much like the Xbox exclusives, like Halo and Gears Tactics and Fable. Or Halo, Gears of War and Fable. And Dude1 says,
and do you think...
which is better for games only? And then he says, yeah, I can afford one. I see, you're trying to get peace of mind for which one you want to get and you can only afford one. Well, like...
I'm a bit like that as well.
In terms of games, I'd say the PS5 at the moment has more games to offer. At the moment, in terms of exclusives. But like, if you want to still play like the current games, then if you want to still like play, you know, the current games that are out and that are not, you know, that much exclusive, and you want to take advantage of like the 30%, like that extra 30% of power, then the Xbox Series X is your best bet. Otherwise, go for the PS5 if you want like more exclusives at the moment, at this point in time. Yep. That's pretty much that. Those are basically my 2 cents on the situation. He says, yes, your opinion. Yeah, as I just said, those are my 2 cents on the opinion. Well, those are my 2 cents on the situation.
Yeah. But if not, to get upgrade your PC so you can play games as well. I mean,
yeah, if not, then build a PC. Let's save up for a PC anyway. Because, like, all these exclusive, well, most of these exclusives anyway, they'll come to PC eventually.
Yeah.
I said, what does the 30% do? Well, it's just 30% more powerful in general, in terms of, like, its specs. So in a way, like, it just
more stable.
It improves the performance in general. Yeah. So like, you have more of a stable frame rate in comparison, which is like, you know, only like 30%. But in some people, that's not a lot. But it's still like,
it's a lot.
It's substantial, you know. It's substantial enough.
Yeah.
It's a lot for what it is. But in comparison to PC, of course, it isn't. But of course, like with how far PCs can go.
Of course. And especially since PCs are, most users are on Microsoft Windows, so
yeah, in a way, it's
compatibility with the Xbox.
Yeah, it's an easier transition with more people, like with how Microsoft in a way is distributed for both Xbox and PC players as like both platforms. He says, okay,
Yeah.
it's a lot in competitive multiplayer for console. But yeah, that's pretty much like the scope of it. But anyways, now I'll look for someone to raid in order to end this live stream off quite nicely. Yeah, it's nice to be back. And also for those of you who don't know yet, or would know just by looking at the fact that I now have channel points on my Twitch channel, you guys will see that I've officially hit Twitch affiliate as of the previous live stream that I did. And yes, I'm actually currently, if you guys are looking at my previous live streams, you can see that I've started my Oddworld Soulstorm PS5 Power First public playthrough live stream series that I have going on. So yeah, that's the live stream that eventually got me to Twitch affiliate, which is pretty cool. And yes, I do plan to continue on with that. It's just that, like, as of recently, a lot of shit has been in the way. There have been a lot of in real life priorities to deal with, plus work being the obstacle that it always is.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, whatever decent amount of time off that I have, I'll most probably use to my advantage. I'll try and live stream as much as possible, but you know, we'll see what happens. We can't predict the future. And yes, also, I might do my 700 followers special celebration live stream at some point after that as well. Of course, with a continuation with Oddworld Soulstorm as well, since that was a long awaited game. And Xbox fans are pissed that that game isn't even on Xbox. It's only on PS4, PS5, and PC at the moment. And it was free for PS5 players. It was free on the PS5 for 1 month for PlayStation Plus members. So yeah, like, it was free for 1 month, starting from the release date, so that time period is officially over. It's a good thing I got a PS5 before that, but at the same time, that was a stroke of luck at the same time. Honestly, if I had my way, I would have already had both. The PS5, I would have already had both the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, like, when they came out.
For a while.
But with this, for a long ass time now. But now it's like, now with the whole scalping situation going on, with all these scalpers at large just fucking it up for everyone else, it's not easy. It's really not making it easy for anyone to, like, you know, get all these consoles, especially at the most convenient of times.
Honestly, they suck, scalpers.
Yeah, they can go fuck themselves. It's a good thing I didn't give into either of them. Like, for both the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, because people let them, like, that pay scalpers, they're the reason that the scalpers exist. And Duda says, he says, "Thank you guys, congratulations. You're welcome and cheers for that. Appreciate the vote of confidence." So now to look for someone to raid, and this has been a really fun live stream for what it was worth, especially with, like, the whole Xbox Series X showcase. Although I'm not gonna lie, there's been a lot more hype that has actually revolved around the PS5 because of the demand for it, because of, like, the next level, like, amount of demand for that there is for the PS5 in comparison to the Xbox Series X. But not only that, but also the less choice of retailers to purchase from, and the limited amount of, like, you know, resources and stuff on top of that.
Yeah.
This whole situation has been happening, like, especially ever since COVID came along. Because, like, not only are, like, consoles, not only is this, like, happening to consoles and stuff, this is also happening to, like, you know, actual, you know, sustainable, like, it's actually happening to, you know, proper, you know, actual real life sustainable materials and everything, like pieces of wood, like, for people that want to build houses and shit, like, pieces of wood have been going up in price and all.
That's insane.
Yeah, like, in a way, like, it's fucked up how it's come to this. But, like, it's what we gotta deal with.
I mean, I don't know how COVID is currently in the UK, but things have been settling down here.
Yeah, they've been settling down in the UK too. We've pretty much just come out of our third lockdown, and although I think
Wow.
it's still like 50-50 from what it looks like, but they have started to reopen gyms and barber shops and everything, which of course I also finally like got my hair cut and all after all these months.
Ooh, nice.
So yeah, it's about fucking
Cool,
time. And it makes it easier to like,
No joke.
yeah, no pun intended. And also like it just makes it easier to, and not only that, but it makes everything else like more bearable to approach. Now if we don't feel like your head's not on fire,
it's easier
with
to
too much
organize your
hair.
life stuff.
Yeah, it's easier to organize your lifestyle and everything.
Right. Did you find someone to raid?
I'm looking for more people to raid. Let me see. Like, I'll look at the categories.
Yeah. Cookie Naval is playing Crash 4 speedrun.
Oh yeah, as he always is. You know, I might as well go ahead and raid him.
Nice.
Because that'll be perfect. How to cook. Alright, I was gonna put host. Yeah, I better off put a raid. Because like raids are more effective.
Yep. Get those raid points in.
Raid points.
Sure. Raid points.
Raid points more for, okay. Okay, that's for raid command over here.
Make sure to greet Cookie.
Okay, for those people who are still here and want to jump on Cookie Naval's livestream, stick around for the raid as I end off this live stream. Now I've got to say.
Yeah.
Alright, so now that pretty much concludes this live stream, and it was a pretty eventful live stream for what it was worth, especially in terms of like the showcase value and the hype value and everything that had going on, even though like it was more effective in the PS5 showcase live stream that I did. It was still like pretty eventful for what it was worth in this live stream. Now with that officially drawing the line to conclude the live stream, for those of you who are watching this live on Twitch, feel free and be sure to follow my Twitch channel if you haven't already, in order to stay tuned for future live streams for whenever they may happen. And for those of you who are watching this archived on YouTube, feel free and be sure to subscribe, like, or rate, however you want to put it. Drop a comment below to leave constructive feedback if you possibly can, and or share it around with your friends and family, whoever they may be, and see you lot on whatever's up next on both my YouTube and Twitch channels. Until then, laters everyone, peace out.
Peace out.